It is your Classic Metal Show right here on the ClassicMetalShow.com. That is our good friends Red Rain. And they just got off the road this week. They did a 2-night set with Dokken.
Yeah.
They traveled to Pittsburgh on Wednesday, which is a show that you did not make.
I did not. We could talk about that a little later.
Yeah. And then they opened for Dokken again last night in Lynchburg, Virginia, the home of what's that? Since we were talking about preachers, what's his name? He I can't think of his name. Another big player in the religious world.
It's not Joel Osteen.
No. This guy passed away.
Oh, I don't know.
But anyway, he has a college down there in Lynchburg.
Okay.
Can't think of the guy's name off the top of my head. But anyway, I thought we would get Anthony Esposito on the phone.
Okay.
And talk to him and see what's going on with that guy.
All right. Sounds good.
Let's see here. I'm going to try to do this.
Here we go, right?
New call, right?
All right.
Hi, you reached Anthony Esposito with the Scenic Arts. Please leave a message.
Gotta hang that up.
At the tone, please record your message.
Gotta hang that up. And get Chris back on the line.
All right.
Where's Anthony?
I don't know. Well,
he knew he was doing this tonight, right?
Of course he did. He's the one that wanted to do it.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Oh, my God. All right, well, fuck it. If he calls me, I'm going to text him right now, and if he calls me back, we'll make it work.
Right. This is why we rarely ever do these live things.
I know, because they never work out.
Yeah, just not around.
No. Oh, well. Fuck it. Move forward. What should we talk about now that fucking flamed out like me in a steel mill?
Well,
Jesus Christ.
You could talk about, the reason why you didn't make it down to the Pittsburgh show.
All right. Yeah, we can definitely do that. So, as everybody knows, Dokken was in Pittsburgh this week.
Yeah, on Wednesday. And our good friends from Red Rain were in Pittsburgh as well. They were opening the show. Yeah, they drove 6 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Is Sammy still in the chat room?
Maybe.
Yeah, Sammy's in the chat. Hey, Sammy, call the studio, 800-497-5891.
Yeah, it's not like Anthony's going to be calling.
Yeah. So we'll have Sammy call and talk about his experience. But those guys drove 6 hours up on Wednesday, played the show, turned around, and went right back home.
Yeah, so they wouldn't miss work. Fuck that.
So that's what you call true dedication to your band.
I guess way more than I would ever have.
Sure. So anyway, you were going to attend the show.
I was, and I had worked it out. I had talked to you to make sure that I had tickets. I actually talked to John Levin as well to make sure that I was all set for that. I talked to Sammy, who was going to hook me up as well. So I had everything. I fully had plans to go. So on Saturday, I was driving, in my car, and I heard my brakes start grinding out a little bit. You know when your pads get near the end and they start making that when you stop. So I was like, all right, fuck it. I'll get my brakes done on Monday. That'll be perfect. I'll get brand new brakes when I go to Pittsburgh. So I called my mechanic guy on Saturday and said, hey, can you get me in on Monday? He's like, yeah, bring it down first thing Monday morning. So I did. Well, then it just turned into a fiasco. Then it turns into, you need brakes and you need rotors and you need bearings and I was like, what the fuck? This car's not that old.
Yeah, that car's got how many miles on it?
80 whatever,
87,000 or something.
Something like that, yeah. So it turns into this whole thing that they got to replace all kinds of shit. And I'm like, all right, whatever, let's get it done. I need the car by Wednesday morning.
Right.
And that was, my plan was I was going to leave Wednesday at 11 o'clock in the morning, drive up there. I was going to meet Sammy and the band at the Pinball Palace, play a little pinball, and then they were going to make their way over to Jurgles in, near Pittsburgh. That was the plan. Well, of course, my car does not get ready by Wednesday morning. Even though they had it on Monday, I didn't get my car until about 6:30 Wednesday night.
Nice.
So I had no fucking way to go. And then I was completely pissed off when I got the $775
Wow.
bill.
That's a lot of work for a car that doesn't have that many miles on it.
You're telling me, man. I was like, you've got to be fucking hitting me. And no, John Bate, I did not ignore any squeaking for too much. I've taken, for one time in my life, I've taken care of a car, and this is it. Doing the oil checks on time, doing all that shit. I really didn't ignore it and just let it go. It just started making noise. So especially knowing that I had to travel, I was dealing with it. So I did not end up getting to go to Pittsburgh, and I couldn't have been more fucking annoyed. Because I wanted to, honestly, I didn't care if I saw Dokken or not. I've seen them, 6 million times at this point. But, I wanted to see Red Rain. And since they can't seem to get a Cleveland date for whatever fucking reason, it was like, this is my one shot for a while, and that did not happen. So I definitely was not happy. And then I had people from both here in Pittsburgh that all wanted to hook up at the show. I got a message. One of our good friends, George Mahalovic, hit me up. It's like, hey man, you going to be at the show? And I had to be like, no, I'm fucking stuck here. And he was like, oh, it sucks, blah, blah, blah. And I hadn't seen George in forever, so I wanted to see him as well. It just sucked. It just sucked that I did not get to go. But no, I did not get to go.
Well, our good friend Sammy got to go. Mm-hmm. And so what's up, Sammy?
Hey, guys. How are you?
Hey, we're well. Road dog here.
I'm wiped out.
Yeah, I can imagine. Well, tell us a little bit about your excursion from Richmond to Pittsburgh. Now, you came up on Wednesday, right?
We came up on Wednesday. I don't know if you guys know, but Chris didn't come to the show.
Yeah, we know. Chris didn't come to the show.
No, we left. We left Wednesday morning about 8, and like Chris said, we were going to meet him. I think Chris and I talked about 1:30, but we got stuck in traffic, so we actually made it to it was called Jurgles. We made it there about 2:45, 2:30, I think, and our load-in was 3, so we weren't going to be able to meet Chris anyway, which was going to stink for us because we really wanted to go there as well. Oh. And so, yeah, we were a little tired when we got there, but it was, you guys know, you've been there, you go there, and they tell you what to do, you start loading in, and before you know it, it's 7 o'clock. So, yep. And then we got on, we played, and we got back in our car and drove 6 hours back home.
Now you ran into Mick Brown, the first night, right?
I did run in, yeah. So yeah, we were supposed to get a sound check, I think, at 4, which we didn't get one because those guys. So Dokken shows up at about 4:30. So obviously we didn't get one, and we were waiting around, and Mick was outside, and we just started chatting. Great guy, by the way.
He's a character, right?
He is a character.
Yeah.
So of course, when I mentioned your name, their faces lit up, and that's why you got that photo of Mick and I.
Yeah.
And I sent it to Chris as well.
Sure.
Yeah, I saw it. It's funny.
Yeah, too good. So anyway, your experience there at the show. Now the place was sold out, right?
Place was sold out.
Yeah.
And we did. George did come to the show. It was the first time I've ever met George face to face. He messaged me, and we got him upstairs, and we talked. And George and I spoke probably for about a good hour. It was great meeting him face to face as well.
Yeah, I hooked you up with George about 5, 6, 7 years ago.
Yeah, yep. And George and I have been talking ever since. But same thing with you and I, and Chris and I, and never met him, and he was there, which was awesome. and I've already told Chris all this, so he knows. But we cursed Chris's name for about 30 minutes.
I deserved that beating. I did. Dude, I wanted to be there. I really did.
Well, the funny thing, Chris, is so you told me that we'd already talked about that. We laughed it off, and then all of a sudden I get this message from our PR guy. Chip says, "Chris just sent me this message. When in the hell is Red Rain playing Cleveland?"
So good.
It did because it was funny because Chip hit me up about something, or I had hit Chip up about I'm working on doing something with Judas Priest. So
right.
So I hit Chip up and we were talking, and he hits me back and he said, "Are you going to see Red Rain tonight?" And I wanted to punch my fucking laptop because I was so pissed off about my car, but between the fact that I couldn't go to the show and the fact that I was staring $1,000 in the face to fix the fucking thing, I was like, this is fucking bullshit. And I just fired back at Chip, and I probably was nasty about it, but I was like, no, I'm not going. Why don't you get them a goddamn gig in Cleveland, for fuck's sake? And he was like, oh, okay.
Well, no, if it makes you happy, he wrote, hey, Sam, see Chris's response below, and then he had your response, and then it says, that's too funny.
Well, you were telling me about the gig in Pittsburgh and about the annoying drunk girl.
Yeah, I tell you, man, it was everything that show. So out of I'll tell you this first, and I'll tell you the story. But out of the two shows we did, they both ended up going very well. We ended up being well received in Pittsburgh, but the show last night in Lynchburg was really off the charts all the way through. But yeah, in Pittsburgh, so not getting the sound check, and sort of it's a really small venue, and there was three bands on the docket. There was obviously Dokken, and then us, and there was a band called Silk Non before. Good guys are I think that's their area, so a lot of their fans. And this venue is, I don't even know how to describe it. It's more of a club venue, but you actually have the first floor, but you have a second floor where there's like a balcony, and people are like standing, like really, it's so small. There's people standing above me. So if somebody wanted to drop a beer bottle on my head or spit on me, that was, I'm sure, certainly an option for them. But so the first band goes on and plays, and that everything's great. So then we get up, and they say, okay, you got to get on stage, Well, first of all, the sound people didn't have the sound right. Actually, there was no sound. They didn't have a microphone for Bubba, our lead singer. They took the drum monitors away. It was just kind of one thing after another. And then by this point, we're 5 minutes late, and we get the proverbial, you guys suck, go back to Virginia, without even playing a note. And there's nothing you can do. You feel helpless, It's not your fault, but, And so finally we get it going, and usually when we come out, people kind of start rocking. This one took about 3 or 4 songs to kind of get people into it, but there's just this one person up on the balcony after every song ended was, you guys suck, bring on Dokken. You guys suck, bring on Dokken. And I couldn't really see her because the lights were in my eyes, but I positioned where I thought she was. So after the show, I got up there and I decided to go grab the girl, which I think was the wrong girl from what I've been told. And I said, hey, just want to let you know, thanks for coming to the show. And I handed her a CD and walked off. And then I left. And then the next day, I get a message from a friend who was up there that says, hey, you guys were great. Just want to let you know you weren't the only one who sucked because the girl kept doing the same thing to Don Dokken the whole time until he finally told her to shut up. So I felt pretty good that it wasn't just us, but so that show started a little rough, but ended up really well. Once we went back in the club for about 20 minutes, we drove back, and people were very nice and very receptive, so it ended up very well.
Now, how many minutes did you have as an opener? Was it like 45 or something?
Well, so in I'm trying to think. In Pennsylvania, I think well, that's the great thing. So I think we had 35 minutes. Well, of course, 10 of that was the sound. So we literally crammed a 30-minute set in about 18 minutes.
Wow.
because we had a little bit of talking too, but yeah. So that one, but last night we had a good 40 to 45 minute set.
So you drove
yeah.
you drove 6 hours, had a couple hours set up, played 30 minutes, packed it all up, and drove 6 hours home.
Yep.
Was it worth it?
Yes.
Okay. Good. Well, good for you. Well, then.
Well, it's worth it because you know. I mean, if you're still trying to get out there and get a following, it's always worth it. I mean, looking back on it, I wish it had gone smoother. Yeah, but it was worth it. But you know, I mean, you guys know. You guys are in the world. I mean, you know, some shows just don't go as they should, or you know, and so it just stinks. I mean. It would have been that show wouldn't have been any different if it was an hour away. I still would have been pissed like I was. And driving 6 hours was the best thing for me because I was so pissed the whole night on the way home.
So you basically got what time did you get home in the morning? It had to have been like midnight or 1, right?
When from Pennsylvania?
From Pittsburgh, yeah.
Hell no, because we didn't leave the club till 10:15.
Oh, okay. So you didn't get home till 4.
Yeah.
And then you went to work.
Then I went to work.
And then you had the gig Friday night in Lynchburg, which was what, like an hour and a half away?
Well, so it gets even better. So then my wife had texted me going, "Hey, just wanted to know our daughter has fallen asleep in the bed in your bed." So I came home and I had to sleep in my daughter's bed for 2 hours. Got up at 6:30 and went to work.
Wow, look at you, little trooper.
Wow.
But you know, got a little sleep Thursday night, and then we packed up and drove 2 hours last night to Lynchburg and played last night. Last night was really great, though. Last night was as about as smooth as a show it's gone, and well received and great crowd. And we got a sound checked, and there was no sound issues. So
now, what kind of a crowd did you draw down there?
You know, the funny thing is that when we got there about 3 to load in, and we loaded in and did our stuff, and then I've got another promoter a little bit, and he's a real young guy, real good guy, and we kind of talked. And I think he said at that time there was about 550 tickets sold,
okay.
but I think I want to tell you the place down there is monstrous. I mean, that place probably holds the whole place probably holds about 2,000 people. And every bit of downstairs was pretty crowded. I would say there was probably, now I could be wrong, I would say there's probably 650, 700 people there.
Okay.
Which was about the same as Pittsburgh. I think the Pittsburgh show was, they said, was sold out at 625, 650.
Nice. And for a Wednesday night to boot.
Yeah, Wednesday night, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So when you guys now, who was on the bill? Just you and Dokken, or was there another band?
Last night?
Yeah.
Yeah. There was this is great. I'm going to say this, but there was a band out of Roanoke, Virginia called Glamour Kitty. And they are a cover band, but they were great because they did covers you knew, but they didn't do your typical covers. You know what I mean? They didn't do the greatest cover that all the other bands are doing. But they did, like, Look What the Cat Dragged In was one of the songs they did. And I'm thinking, well, everybody knows that song, but not many bands do it. They were doing songs like that, and they were just awesome. And the guy that was fronting them sang and looked like Axl Rose, so it was awesome.
Cool. So how did
too.
you guys go over in Lynchburg? I mean, good response?
Well, we played there a couple of times. That's where we did the Quiet Riot show,
oh, okay.
And we did Kicks. So yeah, it was well received. Yeah, we were well received there. We're starting to get a really good fan base there. So that's good. We had a lot of people that knew us there, and then we're going back there. We're going back there as of right now. We don't have many shows booked yet that I can talk about, but the one show that I know we're booked and inked on is we're going back to Lynchburg in August with Jackal.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
Well, good for you. So then you guys.
But Neely, this is all news to you because you know you were. You were in the time warp with us because we kept texting back and forth. So you know my displeasure about Pennsylvania.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, but you got to hang out and take in the show after you guys played last night, and you got to actually go back and hang out with the Dokken guys a little bit, right?
We did. Well, we did. We had kind of talked to all of them in Pittsburgh, Mick more than anybody else, and then last night we talked to all all the other guys. But the first time we ever got to actually talk to Don was last night, and we only got 10 minutes with him. But yes, it was great.
And how was their show?
I thought their show was great. People. It's funny. I keep reading. Everybody's like, oh, same thing with Slothy Singers. Oh, they've lost it. They can't. I mean, people were just into it and still rocking. And I thought he sounded fine. But some people are like, oh, he's lost his voice a little bit. I'm like, well, I disagree with you. But people were well receptive. People were rocking. At the end of the show, they were trying to get into this. It was this little room. I think was where the dressing room. They were all trying to get in. So. Reminded me of a good old '80s rock concert.
Sure. So was,
and by the way, I'm sorry I'm not as jovial as I usually am. I am wiped out, tired.
Well, we won't keep you. We won't keep you long.
No, it's fine. I'm brain dead. But all in all, great couple of shows though, and couldn't have gone any well. Oh, and I think I texted you this, but I want to put this on record. Is when I was talking to Don, I said, look, we'd love to do some more shows with you. And his response was, get in touch with Neely and we'll make it happen.
Yeah,
there you go.
Because I'm the broker.
Yeah, so apparently Neely is our new manager.
Yeah, I'm the broker. I broker these deals. I'm a big power broker guy.
Well, get a Cleveland show for fuck's sake, Neely.
Yeah, seriously.
Come on.
Well, Chris, he said I should call you too, but he said since you didn't show up to Pennsylvania, he said, fuck Chris.
Yeah, Neely's the guy. I just fucking show up where I get free tickets. And even then I don't.
But you had free tickets. I'm just joking with you, but you had free tickets.
I know. Dude, I'm not making any
I know you're not.
excuses. I should have rented a car. I should have rented a car and just gone, but I didn't because I'm a slug.
I gotta bust your balls. You know that. We'll get to Cleveland. I'm sure we'll get to Cleveland.
I might just have to make that happen at some point in the summer.
Yeah, well, we're working on some stuff. So hopefully, some stuff will pan out. We just shot a music video, and that was what we've been working on and holding on to it for a couple reasons. But yeah, I mean, talking to Chip the other day, he basically said things won't start panning out till end of April. So we'll see. But I did tell Chip, look at and this is funny because I know this. You may or may not believe, but I said, listen, we really got to get a show in Cleveland for Chris. And
Nice.
So Chip says, we're going to work on that.
Well, if
And Jackal, because Jackal keeps asking me when we're coming up that way.
If it comes down to it, I might just have to book you to play my backyard at one of my infamous fucking barbecues.
We'll come do that.
Well, you might.
Or you can come down to Lynchburg, Virginia to the Jackal show.
Oh, dude, I don't travel.
I heard that.
Me traveling to Pittsburgh is quite an excursion.
Well, on a serious note, we really did miss you, and we were hoping you were there. But you and I had already spoken about that.
Yeah, we'll make it happen. That's for sure.
Yeah, we will.
So anything else you can tell the fans where Red Rain's concerned there, Sammy? Any other shows aside from the Jackal show in August? You got anything else coming up that you can talk about?
Nothing right now, unfortunately. Don't like to say anything until, obviously, you guys know, until the paper is signed. And but we are working on some stuff, and hopefully be back out there playing some more shows. And we probably won't play much in the next month, but we are writing. I mean, we've been in the writing process, so we've got some. Excuse me, we got some new songs that we're going to start debuting at some of these shows too.
Good.
We actually debuted one last night.
Well, I still think you ought to include Demons in your set.
I actually thought about playing that last night, but then I was like, no, I'm not doing that. That song is there was a guy that was another band that Bubba and I were in, and he completely ripped off Dokken. So I don't know. I don't feel comfortable with that.
I still think you should play it.
Yeah. I don't know. We might. Bub and I've talked about it, but the thing is, we're trying. I mean, we don't really play any of that Seth material. We're trying not to. Not that I don't love it, but trying to move on. But we've talked about playing Demons at a show.
Just re-record it on the next record. Call it a Red Rain tune.
And cut out the other guys like Sharon Osbourne did with Ozzy.
Yeah, exactly.
You can give them credit. You can say, yeah, these guys also were there when we originally wrote the demo.
Right, the demo. That's right. Yeah, I don't know what to think about it, but we got some new tunes. Then I'm telling you, some of the new stuff that I say is new was written back when we were recording the EP, and we just, when we were recording with David, we just unfortunately the funds that we had at the time was enough for an EP, but he liked some of the stuff we were doing, so we're just working that stuff up, and all that stuff will be probably on the next CD when we do one, which won't be till probably next year, because we're going to concentrate on playing more live shows. So that's the deal. That's all I can give you.
All right.
At the camp.
Well, why don't you throw out that website and the Facebook and all that bullshit so people can find you? Absolutely.
It's redrainband.com, and that's REIGN. And then on Facebook, it's Red Rain Band, REIGN. If you go to our website, you'll see some pictures from the Jurgle show in Pennsylvania and in Lynchburg last night. And I don't know if we posted any in the Dokken pictures, but there's some Dokken pictures as well. But yeah, come give us a check out, come listen, and come out and come out to a show if you can.
Excellent. All right, Sammy, you can go. You can
go
to
bed
bed
now. Thanks for having me on as usual.
Yeah, maybe your little girl won't be sleeping in your bed tonight, and you can actually get a good night's sleep.
Oh, hell no. She's getting her ass kicked out of there. She's going to her own room. I'm getting some sleep tonight.
Right. All right,
thanks
Sammy.
for having me on, guys.
Sure.
Hi, brother.
We'll talk to you again.
Talk to y'all later.
Hail and kill.
All right. Hail and kill. Bye-bye.
There's Sammy. He's all road worn.
Yeah, he sounds tired. Just imagine if he played like 70 shows in a row.
Yeah. Now that's real work.
Yeah, no shit. So do you want to hear an opposing view of Dokken's performance in Pittsburgh?
Oh, sure. Why not? Let's hear the Bash Fest.
All right. This came from somebody we both know.
Okay.
I'm not going to sell him out for... I'll tell you who it is, but I'm not going to sell him out on the air.
Sure.
You know who?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. It says, you didn't miss much. Not one of Dokken's better shows. They had some technical issues on a few songs. Not their fault. Man, every fucking show.
Yeah, I know. Not their fault, but...
Yeah. And Don was really struggling. I love Don, but I feel bad. His singing sounds painful, even in the low register he is using. I still like the studio records. I still like the studio records they have done with John and Don, and Don can still write, but I go out of respect and to hear John play more than anything. I think Don was a fantastic singer back in the day, but for whatever combination of reasons, both in and out of his control, his voice has taken more abuse than most. And then he goes in to talk about the reunion and that he doesn't want to see a reunion and blah, blah, blah.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But that's the review of Pittsburgh.
All right.
Like, all right. It's not nasty, just realistic.
Sure. Well, we are talking, 35 plus years in.
Yeah. I would just love to know why they can't get fucking sound in order.
I don't know the answer, but...
Every fucking show, dude.
I know. Believe me, I've seen it too many times to even count.
It's like somebody put a hex on them to have bad sound at every gig.
Yep.
And it's amazing because Don seemingly knows better than most what he wants the sound to be.
Yeah, well, he spends the first 3-4 songs in the set just going over there and fixing the board.
Yeah. It's unbelievable that they have those kind of problems every single show.
Yeah.
But it happens.
It does happen. Well, have you heard back from Anthony?
Not a word.
Wow. Disappeared on us.
Disappointed.
Disappointed. Well, that's too bad.
Oh,
Well, you know, another guy I'm going to reach out to, and maybe he might want to come on tonight, is our good friend Greg Napier from WMMT, The Rock Show.
Sure.
I'm going to see if he's available, and I'm going to have him call in tonight because, things for his 16-year show kind of took a nosedive, but hopefully he'll be able to resurrect it in another way.
Somewhere else, implosion.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a couple of songs.
Okay.
I'm going to get a hold of Greg and see if he wants to come on and talk about his rock show venture and see if he can get that renewed somewhere else and find out exactly what happened.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. Well, since Sammy won't play this live on his sets, we're going to play it here because our fans love this song and I love it.
Right.
We're going to play some Sammy doing Demons with his former band, Seth.
All right.
But I still think they ought to re-record it or at least play it live during the Red Rain set because it's a cool song.
Yeah, well, doesn't sound like that's going to happen, but maybe. Dude, I'm dead serious about maybe. You want to go in with me on this? We'll pay them guys a couple $100, few $100, and we'll have them come out here and we'll do a barbecue.
Yeah, why not?
I'm serious. I'm dead serious about that.
We could do that.
Do a fan barbecue. I'd be up for that.
Yeah, pay for their travel and put them up in some rooms or something, and
let them stay here. They could stay here if they wanted to.
Right.
I mean, I don't care.
And then have them come up and hang and play a set and invite a select group of people or whatever and have them come out.
Yeah, we could broadcast it. Yeah, we could broadcast from it.
We could definitely do that.
If you want to. I mean, we got all the equipment
We got all the equipment, believe me.
Lord knows we got enough equipment to fucking broadcast, about 30 fucking people?
Yeah, sure.
So, yeah, I'm thinking I like that idea. And, if each of you, if you and I both each put up a couple $100, I think we could have a really good time.
I think so, too.
All right, maybe we'll do that.
All right, well, we'll think about it and maybe plan something.
All right.
Okay, well, here's Seth with Demons. Going to play a couple of tunes. We'll come back, and maybe I'll bring Greg on if he wants to come on, and we'll talk to him and find out what's going on. Otherwise, we'll just continue forging ahead.
Sounds good.
All right, here it is. This is Seth with Demons exclusively here
on your classic metal show.